Hello and welcome to the latest in Nodelcorp's series of videocasts. Today I want to talk about thinking, feeling, and climate change, bias in the climate dialogue. Early in my career, I recognized that I need to get a commuter car to get to and from work. Demands of the job were requiring that I needed to be all over the city, and I was finding that bus transit wasn't doing it for me. So I needed to have a car. And being a typical engineer, I applied a fair amount of analysis to this decision. I did cost-benefit analysis. I did needs and wants analysis, weighted decision, looked at all the technical specs. I faxed all the dealers and got the pricing and specifications of the cars that were available. Had a very solid technical understanding of what I wanted. So I made my decision, went down to a local dealer, found the car I wanted, and was looking on the lot and found a car that I thought I would make an offer on. Unfortunately, that particular vehicle had a ding in one of the side panels. Somebody had opened the door and had made just a dent, and it was a typical parking lot dent. And the salesman told me not to worry about that. We'd make the offer on the car. They would take it into the shop and they would press that out, and you would never know it was there. So I thought about that, said, okay, that's fair. Made the offer. A day or so later, I got a phone call from the salesman, and what he told me was, unfortunately, they could not push that dent out. And he said they had found a similar vehicle in Calgary, and that if I was willing, they would bring that vehicle up to me in Edmonton for the same price, same everything, and all we'd have to do is change some of the numbers on the offer form. So I thought about that, and I said to him, same vehicle exactly, and he said yes, and I said, okay, we can do that, but that car's got to be red. The car on the lot that I'd seen was red. I wanted a red car. At an emotional level, I needed to have a red car. Everything else at that point was put aside in favor of the red car. So this is an emotional response following a great deal of technical analysis. Well, the reason I share that story is that talking about climate change is very similar to this. Of course, we have the data. I've been working on climate change issues now for over 20 years. I've seen the data. I know it exists. I've worked with the climatologists on the projections. I've seen the meteorological database. So I know we have data, and I know it's solid. I know it's robust. But the issue with climate change is that that's not sufficient. Climate change is scary. And when we are confronting scary issues, we tend to respond at an emotional level. Just like I needed the red car, we have needs that we need to address within the context of the dialogue and within the context of the actions we plan to take on climate change. So climate change is scary. We need to address those concerns. People are worried about their livelihoods. They're worried about their kids' lifestyles. They're worried about a myriad of things that we don't contemplate in the data that we look at when we talk about climate change. So clearly we need to take action, but at the same time, we need to address those concerns, those feeling-related issues that are coloring the debate. Biases affect the way we see things. One of the problems with our biases is that the future is unclear. This is the basis of a lot of our risk work, uncertainty about the future. Looking backward seems to be much clearer to us. It has its own fair share of uncertainty in terms of how we went about measuring things and that. But we have, at an emotional level, a clearer understanding of what has happened as opposed to what is coming towards us. And that affects the way we talk about climate change. We're worried, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So what's the answer? I fundamentally believe the answer is to simply keep the dialogue going. Let's listen to each other. Let's hear the concerns. Let's understand that when people are opposed to our position, it may not necessarily be opposition to our data. It could be coming from a more emotional place. Fear about livelihood, fear about the lives of their children. So the answer is to keep an open dialogue going. And with that, I will conclude today's short presentation. Looking forward to speaking to you next time. If you enjoyed today's presentation, please feel free to click on the subscribe button below to be apprised of what's coming up. And with that, I'll end today and see you again next time.